Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'll introduce myself. I'm David, founder of Wealthreader. We are an open banking platform. It's a B2B business, and frankly, it's a data-driven offering that's quite challenging to fully comprehend if we just try to explain it ourselves, because ultimately we serve as a crucial component to enable and complete more extensive use cases. And that is why we have asked him to join us at Singular Bank to explain how for the past few months they have been utilizing us in a real production case, giving true meaning to what we do, which by itself, well, is not useful. Our product is an API that connects with any bank in the world and standardizes data. Companies, individuals, they work with multiple entities. That's a reality, and data is fragmented and dispersed across various entities. So it was necessary to create pipelines, the communication to obtain data from BBVA or JP Morgan or any other source, so other tools could process it, could understand it, always in the same way. The data would always be consistent, an account would always be called an account, a portfolio always a portfolio, and an eSIM code would always be just that. Although it may seem very obvious, that didn't exist. As of today, our product, Testamasa, connects with 220 banks in 14 countries where we have our main focus. Because we are a Spanish company, we offer complete coverage in Spain and Andorra and almost full coverage in Portugal. But we are continuously building new connectors wherever our clients need them. Jesteś patrzeć samotny use cases mapito. When about my wealth reporting is in fact something that is quite necessary. So when an advisor wants to get a holistic view of everything their clients possess across all of their banking institutions, they really need an API just like ours. Sinantebo, we are already the provider of several tools that some of you are probably familiar with, such as Alter Software, Univesis, and Atalaya. These are tools for the advisor to get a daily updated view of all banks without needing to exchange files or having to reach agreements with the banks. This use case isn't very specific to our region, but all companies also tend to work with more than one bank and need to have their data grouped. It's not just their bank accounts, they also have credit cards, investment funds, and debts. All this with us, they can achieve. Scoring is another use case I'll quickly tell you about since it doesn't quite apply here. But imagine any credit institution like American Express or El Corte Inglés, when they need to grant a credit limit to their customers, they must know the data. So there's a manual case. Give me your bank statement. I'll give you the last payslip and it evaluates you. With us, this scoring allows for the processing of information in just a few seconds, practically in real time. And client management is another one of the things we're going to talk about today because it's also closely related. The moment a new client enters a bank or a manager receives a new client, they need to gain a deeper understanding of them. There's a manual option. You can tell me what you have in your other bank account, go home, send me PDF files, or connect directly with your bank. And in that very same instant, I can already see on my screen exactly what that client has. So far, that's the information. I know it's not easy to fully grasp, but Ruben will explain it much, much better.
Well, good morning, everyone, and I'm delighted to be with all of you. I'm Ruben Andres, the General Director of Technology and Operations at Singular Bank. We're here to share a very interesting success story between Wealthreader and Singular. But before that, I'll give a brief introduction to what Singular Bank is, because perhaps some of you don't know us. Well, we are a bank that was founded 5 years ago, relatively very recently. And we are completely focused on the client, right? And in what sense? We are an independent private bank, and we always put the client's interests first above everything else, you see? On the other hand, we offer a comprehensive 360 solution, don't we? We have open architecture that allows investing in over 25,000 investment vehicles for both private and digital clients. And on the other hand, we possess a state-of-the-art technology platform that we are continuously updating and which we believe is the key to success, right? The union of financial experts and advisors with technology. We're a bank, but we have two brands. So first one is focused on the wealth segment, right? The high net worth segment. And the second, which is the bank, is a fully digital bank. We have no offices and our clients can conduct their transactions through our digital channels, right? But with the same portfolio of services that we provide to our private banking clients. Let me share with you some important figures concerning the bank. We simply manage a total of 16 billion in assets on behalf of our clients. We have a universe of over 20,000 funds, 2,400 ETFs and index funds, and over 250 recommended options. We have a team of analysts who conduct analysis of over 3,000 companies and over 900 fixed income issues. If you follow us on social media, you'll see it because our own analysts are continuously sharing content openly as well. It's something quite innovative in the sector. And we operate 17 offices dedicated to the private banking segment, and we employ over 180 bankers. I should mention that these 16 billion have been generated within the past 5 years. Wouldn't you agree? Through the acquisition of portfolios, which represents a growth that I would describe as truly overwhelming. And now let's move on to what we're here to discuss today. We call it, our project is Beyond Singular Bank, and it's a project that we have developed in partnership with Wealthreader, and which allows us to gain a 360-degree view of our clients' portfolios that extend beyond Singular, you see, specifically those held in other financial institutions. Here we have a brief demo of the portal provided by Wealthreader. In it, if we are the banker, we would directly see all the information blank. We click the button to connect other entities. Together with the client, we select what type of products we want to add, because the product aggregates both off-balance sheet and liability products. Here we have the portfolio of institutions. We would choose, for example, we'll select Santander, private banking. Once selected, it will ask us for the username and password that the client himself will provide. By accepting the terms and conditions, we can then establish the connection, and from that point we will have access to all the information concerning your investments being managed by that particular entity. Here you can observe additional entities that we have incorporated. We have even included Singular Bank in order to conduct quality assurance tests, to verify whether the assets it was providing were accurate or not. For example, when we are going to enter into a portfolio from Singular, which could be Santander or BBVA, and we have all the ISIN codes, product, shareholdings, price, the weight that it holds within the portfolio, even the profitability achieved during the period, including all of the portfolio's movements. Well, this is a very interesting topic, but if we consider all of this, and then we return to the aggregated accounts perspective, I would point out that the banker himself has the capability to export these financial statements to Excel and then effectively work with them using the provided tool. We are currently engaged in integrating through an API with our specialized advisory platform to include portfolios both within the entity and those held externally, enabling us to perform various simulations. And a very important point is this: we can update the data with just one click. Once the client has given us the possibility to connect to their accounts for 90 days, we have the possibility to keep updating those accounts. In short, to be more specific, what would you highlight about this solution? On the one hand, we offer the very best technology for API connectivity to accounts that extend beyond Singular Bank, right? To portfolios held outside of Singular Bank. I can confidently state this because I've been working in technology for the past 20 years. I've collaborated with numerous aggregators, and this particular aspect, the off-balance sheet component, honestly, they don't quite cover it very effectively, do they? It has always been a significant point of improvement. On the other hand, through this, we provide the banker with important insights, don't we? And that they have that holistic and comprehensive views of the client's assets, right? To be able to find opportunities or provide more personalized advice, right? And lastly, the coverage. This is extremely important, isn't it? Because ultimately, if we cannot have extensive coverage, the truth is the product won't truly gain traction. It provides full coverage in Andorra and in Spain. It also includes 12 more countries, among which are some very interesting ones like Switzerland, Luxembourg, and the United States, specifically for the private banking segment. This means that we are quite well covered with the portfolio of our clients. And now that we've achieved with Beyond Singular, what impact has it had for us? On the one hand, we have data collection. How were we doing it? We were already doing this, right? But we had to ask the client to export Excel files from their online banking, or some would even bring it in paper, right? Now we've gone from 3 to 5 days in the best case scenario, because some clients find it harder to send the information to just 10 seconds, right? Factoring in processing time, we wait 10 seconds and the data is available. Human errors, right? The operational risk of papers, Excels, and transferring all that information to the system. By doing this, we've brought it down to 0, right? Because the information comes from the origin, right? From the operational burden of the equipment. Well, with complex clients, we used to spend up to 3 hours, right? Carrying out this aggregation once we receive the information. With this, the automation is completely total. And we believe we're going to save about 1,500 hours annually. And if the product is very successful, probably even more. The availability of consolidated information. This is very important. You conduct the consultation in January, and then you have a second meeting with the client in March, and you have to ask them again for all the documentation to update that holistic view. With this product, simply by clicking the update button, we have all the information loaded again.
And finally, the client banker experience. I don't have specific figures here because we only launched the product a month ago, but it's obvious that it will improve the client's NPS. But there's another very important indicator that I think we always forget about. I think they've forgotten about digital transformation, and the employees is key, right? And that is the employee net promoter score. We believe our bankers will be able to focus more on advising and forget about these more operational tasks that don't add value. So, in conclusion, I would say that thanks to Wealthreader, we've transformed low-value operational hours into high-value strategic hours to advise our clients. This allows them to receive more agile and much more reliable advice thanks to the data we integrate through Wealthreader. And well, this is the case we came to present to you.
Well, I really wanted to thank you for coming here to support us and for sharing your story as well, because it was very well explained and I believe everyone understood it. Many thanks to all of you for attending this presentation. Well,